Fear is like fire. If not controlled, it could burn down everything around you. But if used properly, it can fuel you to reach your highest potential. My mentor, Customado, told me the only thing that separates the hero from being a coward is what the hero does that makes him the hero, and what the coward doesn't do that makes him the coward. They both have fear, but with this fear, something is ignited in the hero. When fear challenges you, what will you do? Introducing Tyson Pro. Hello, I'm Mike Tyson, and this is pretty much fight, series, because we did Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, but now we have the heavyweight champion of the UFC and challenging the heavyweight champion of the world for a shot at the heavyweight boxing champion, Francis Ngannou. Ooh, I got the name right.
You get it right this time.
Yeah, I got the
you
name right.
You tear my name down so many
times. I'm
times.
so sorry. I never finished
but
school.
But I can't blame you. It's not an easy name.
I never finished school. I got a list.
It's not about school. I think it's about, where the name came from.
Hey, matter of fact, tell us, where did the name come from?
I was named after my grandfather, and that name has a signification. Back in the day, even still now, the name has to make signification. So people been through a lot of stuff that every time when they have a kid, they have to name them after something that happened to them or some life experience. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. And my name was, I was named after my grandfather. And that name been in our family for a generation now. But now it's the best name in the family.
I respect that.
How does the family go crazy when they see you now?
They see me all the time. So they are happy. But they see me all the time since I'm home all the time.
Are you their Mike Tyson?
Excuse me?
Are you their Mike Tyson?
Well, I'm their family member. The good thing is we have a quote in French which says no one is a prophet in his home. When you're home, you're home.
Wow.
You're a brother. Doesn't matter what you do. You're just a brother, or you're just
That's how it is in my house.
You're a son. You can be whatever you want, but you will always be your mom's son.
Wow.
You will be a nephew of your uncle or stuff like that, right? So yes.
That's kind of cool because I think your dad was more into street fighting. Was that the influence?
Was your father fighting?
Yes, he was.
Really?
He was fighting. He was a very good karate guy.
Did you ever go watch him fight?
No, he was fighting in the street.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Did you ever go watch him fight in the street?
They don't schedule fight in the street.
No, listen. Do you remember this? Yo, Mike's fighting out here. Your cousin's fighting, and they run down the street.
Yeah, we
out.
Yeah.
I saw my dad once. He wasn't in the actual fight. I think they break up a fight, and the other guy took a knife or something, and then he went home to take some. I think it was a knife and something. And I was coming back to school. At that time, I wasn't living with him. I was living at my mom's, and I saw my dad. He was walking fast, and I was trying to catch up with him, and he was walking fast. And then when he get there, he was just like, keep going. And, I tried to stick around to see what's going on.
Curiosity.
Yeah, and he was arguing with this guy, and they were there. I think I was very embarrassed that day. I look at it, I'm like, once again, I knew since growing up that I didn't want to be like him, but I was very embarrassed. I was around 13 at that time, but I'm like, no, I don't want to be like this. I've been saying that to myself since I was maybe 7 years old, and that day reminds me exactly why I didn't want the feeling that I had that day. I didn't like it, but he was a very solid guy. I think if he was in this day, he would have been a hell of a champion.
That's crazy, man.
You should tell that from his, genetics here.
I mean, damn, 10 years old working, like, that's
Tell me
crazy.
about your brothers and sisters.
That's
What's that
crazy.
about?
Oh, it's 5 of us. I'm the second oldest.
You're the only one in America?
Yeah, I'm the only one in America. And yeah, they are all back in Cameroon. You know, we wasn't we weren't designed to be here, you know.
Yes, you were. You wouldn't be here then.
Kind of. So just a funny story, like I've been trying to get my brother here sometime to help me, and they always get a visa deny, you know. So it's not that.
He can't come through Paris like you did?
No, nobody is doing that to in my family. I was the only one, and I remember like when I did it, I went home the first time. It was back in 2016 when I went in Cameroon the first time after 4 years, and I was telling them like nobody should do this, right? Like they're trying to like, okay, how is it? How is friends? Have you this? Have you done this? I'm like, chill, guys, just stop it. Hopefully I will make it and support the family, but I don't want nobody to go through what I've been through. Like that was enough, you know, like
You thought you weren't gonna make it, huh? On that boat ride, it was scary, huh?
it was scary, but one of the reason was that like you turn around and there is not an option. When you have your only option is not to have option, you just go. You know, it's easier. I mean, it's not easy, but it's less tough to go.
You know what I've seen on television before? Not television, movies also, but it was, they received it from true events, that they would put so many people overflood the boat with so many people that paid, and the boat normally sinks.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Was it
true.
like that with you? A lot
That's
of people
true.
on the boat?
But those people who get on those boats,
And they paid too. It wasn't like they're doing it for
they
free.
pay a good
paid.
amount of money for being there. So many people don't have that amount of money, and I was part of those people who didn't have that amount of money. So what's happened? We used the boat that the inflatable boat that they use in the swimming pool. Usually, that's the one that we use. We paddle.
What?
Yeah, it was a paddle boat. So
That's like all those fucking
supposed
muscles.
to be like four or five people for the biggest one.
What?
And then we will pack like 8 to 9 up to 10, depending of the size of the people, because I will count myself like two person.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah.
You went through
No,
that?
it's scary.
I can't believe you went
We
through
have
that.
listen,
That's
look how
crazy.
good we have. This country is insanely beautiful.
So what's happened? Yeah, I mean, everyone problem is important, right? Because at any stage of life, you have a problem. Even now, I have a problem, which has nothing to do with my problem back then, but I still have my problem. And as a human, you always deal with problem. But when you deal with something like that, and then you get overseas, or whether it's in Europe, because here in America, I think people they don't complain too much. But when you get in Europe, people
Well,
are
we
complaining.
do complain. What do you mean America don't complain?
Not too much.
A lot. And we have a lot. Nobody complain more than Americans.
like
We're the,
spoiled
we're the
shit.
most 26th unhappy country in the world.
No,
26.
no.
We're a bunch of unhappy and selfish motherfuckers.
When you go in Europe, you will be surprised. And then a lot of country in Europe will be like, as America is capitalism, is what is that, socialism?
It's not socialism, but
Huh? No
no,
communism.
socialism.
No
No,
communism.
it is the word socialism.
Socialism, yes. And so they have a lot of support, a lot of help, health insurance that is provided, all those kind of stuff, support if you're unemployed, and all those
That's a
stuff.
bunch of lazy
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
and then I get there from Africa, coming from the forest, been through all this, and then see people like complain about things like, oh, we need this, we need. I'm like, man, this country, they are so good out here. Like, One of the things.
That's how it is in Europe, right? Health insurance is free. Everything's free.
Yeah,
over
but
there.
they don't give
is
a
pretty
fuck.
good.
Nigga, black people don't get that shit. They come from Africa.
No, everybody.
Really? Come
no.
on. Like if I came to Denmark, say Denmark, right? And Sweden, and I just come and I'm a foreigner, they're gonna give me those rights? 'Cause I'm not a citizen yet.
I don't know about Denmark. I was in France, and I wasn't a citizen. I didn't have any paper, legal.
Did they pull you over to
document.
show me your paper? 'Cause that's what they do in Europe.
Yeah.
They pull you over, say, hey, let me see your papers.
No, they didn't do anything like that. But you can go to the hospital and apply to see a doctor. They will send you to a social worker that will maybe sign a paper for you to see a
That
doctor.
is so incredible.
And you will see a doctor, and you will get a medicine and all that.
In
for
America,
free.
if you can't pay, you better move aside, motherfucker.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm
Fuck
like,
you mean get
this
well.
this
nigga,
is
you
cool.
better starve to death or get infected motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come here and fuck with us.
And you just need to prove that you have no source of income, you know. But I do want to.
Oh, they
I
can do
don't
that
want
over
an
here.
income.
Oh, that's why they don't do that over here, because I can show
it's
you no
tricky.
income.
Yeah, it's tricky because I do want an income. You know, I'd rather have a good income and then pay for my health than have a free health insurance or free food without having an income. So now I'm dependent on the system or whoever is providing that to me. You know, but
If you can make it
At
in
least-
America, you can make it anywhere, man.
yeah, no,
Oh, man. And listen, this is the best country in the world, but you have to compete.
which
It's
is
the most competitive country. You got to compete.
I think it's normal. I think it's the best. Actually, I really like it because, like, when you are in America and you have a desire to accomplish something, to
you can get
work,
whatever you want here.
you can get there.
get
There's
whatever
a
you want here.
is a
Unless
country
you're a
of
lazy
opportunity.
motherfucker. That's the only
If
reason
you're
you can't
lazy, that's
accomplish
on
your
you.
dream.
It's not on
Yeah.
somebody, right?
Exactly.
But if you have a desire, you work, and there's a job everywhere. I have
But
seen
in
it.
America, people expect people to take care of them. Grown men expect other grown men or their friends who are fortunate to get their hands on some money to take care of them and their family.
Well, go somewhere else, and then you will see worse.
How did you maneuver with no money though? Like, how do you plan that? Like, you're in France and you have no money. Like, what's the thought process? That's crazy.
That wasn't a problem. I mean,
Wow.
I think like one thing that I always said is that at that that was the best moment of my life.
No, but what did you do when you first got to Paris and boom, I'm in Paris now?
That's crazy.
Okay,
right.
it's find a place to sleep.
Now, how did that work out?
Well, I found a good parking lot, underground parking lot. That was great
Oh, this is
for like a couple months.
We're gonna make a story
Couple
about
months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I was just so happy to be somewhere with that I can have a opportunity. You know, I can walk.
How did you wash
Watch what?
your ass? How did you wash? How did you wash when you were sleeping in the?
Okay. So what you have to know is that people homeless, they have a system. They have their own system that work for them. I know where to go take a public shower. I have I go registered for a public locker.
Toilet.
No, locker to put my stuff. I will go there twice a week to change my clothes. I know where
You
is
have
the
a locker in a locker.
yeah, it's a public place. So there's like a worker there. You register, they put your name down with your ID and everything.
That's
Did
crazy.
you
And
have
give you-
soap there too? They have soap.
Yes, they have soap. They have everything. You know, when you register, you go there. But it's nothing like home. But when you're in that situation, it's the most thing that you can have. The only thing that you have to do is to keep your mouth, your brush and your mouthpiece, your toothpaste in your backpack. Then you wake up every morning, found a park that is closer, wash your face, brush your teeth, and ready to roll for the day.
That's crazy.
You
And
ever go on dates and stuff?
No, you don't.
Homeless?
Come on, bro.
that's the last thing on your mind, right?
That's the last thing of your mind. You're embarrassed about yourself. You don't even have confidence to
You got a
to
Mac,
look about
man. You got
that.
a Mac. Hey, baby, you like this?
No,
you
no,
got
no,
this.
no.
I
You
need
can
some
do that
money.
at that
I
moment.
need some money. Clean me up. Look, trust me, I clean up well. Just let me use the shower, some soap, and you'll be impressed.
No, you can't
Never
take
did-
that.
Yes, you can. I do that in America all the time.
Yes, but it's you. It's you. It's
No,
different.
homeless. You have to have the balls to try it.
Give the gap.
Well,
You're
I
afraid
think
of
the
doing
better
something, you
balls
should
that
do
you
it.
can have is to believe in yourself and try it. You know, I mean, so many people with a dignity, even when they are homeless, they will not accept those kind of things. You know, to go to somebody like, oh, I need a soap, I need this. It's quite embarrassing, right?
Pride is.
Yes, and you have a pride. So many people have a pride. Like sometimes you see a homeless, it's hard to help him because he still has a pride, you know. So
And
you
he
have
will
to
starve to death.
what?
If he has that kind of pride, he will starve to death.
No,
Pride
he's
to-
still trying to make it because some people are just there temporarily and they believe that they're gonna make it back. They are working their way up. It's different than people that get there and give up. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Have you
It's
ever
not
stolen
possible.
anything since you've been homeless?
In France?
Yeah.
No, I didn't need anything. Like we have.
See, it's in my blood. I'm a steal
No.
son. I'm hungry. Look at that fucking
Mike.
hamburger or something.
No, but listen, this is the thing. In French, being a homeless wasn't that complicated. They have a whole system. You know where to go eat breakfast, where to go eat at lunch,
gotta go to France.
where to go eat dinner.
A guy like me, right? Superstar, can't walk to say everybody love me. If they want to really laugh, they should see me sign out a job application. Holy shit.
Wow,
That's
really?
why I'm glad I didn't get a job. I don't know what this nigga talking about, but shit. Ooh, I'm glad I could whoop a nigga ass, make people laugh.
But you still make it.
Yeah,
Of
still
course.
make it. Still
So
make
that's
it.
the point.
Still make
You
it.
can make it without
It's
degree.
no, look, not gonna be too many of us. It's a very small percentage that do it.
Still something.
And there's more. Listen, there's more billionaires that quit college that were in college.
Shit.
That's
You can make-
exactly what we are
listen.
talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you figured it out, like your whole surroundings and how to operate. How many boxing spots did you go to before you linked up with Fernand Lopez?
How many what?
How many boxing spots did you had to get accepted in?
I went to the gym named Kajin. That was the first gym that I went to.
Africa?
No, in Paris.
Paris. Okay.
How,
Yes.
how is the gym culture out there? Is it like crazy racist or is it normal or?
No, no as I experienced. So I went to the gym. I work in the front desk. I met this lady and I asked her for a boxing class. And she
Really?
was, yes. And she was like, okay, the boxing class is going on now, but this is the subscription. You know, this is what you have to pay. She gave me a paper and there was a price on it. I look at it like,
It's crazy. It's expensive. Like,
whether it was, even if it was cheap, I didn't have money to pay. So what was the difference? When you don't have money, everything is expensive. It wasn't about the price. But I asked to see the boxing coach, but the boxing coach wasn't there that day. There was a guy, a substitute named Didier Camon, who was actually the guy that helped me throughout the whole process. After training, I went to see him and I explained the situation to him. I said, I just want a place to train. And that's how he get to, he said, let me talk to the main coach and I will come back to you. If you have a phone number, I would like to take it. So a couple of days after, he called me back and I'm like, the coach accepted, so you can come and train. And that's how we started to train. And 2 weeks after, because when I came, I didn't have anything. I mean, I have a pair of shoes. He gave me a clothes. He was also a big guy, you know. And 2 weeks after, he was like, yes, you have a good boxing, you know. I think as for right now, the best option for you will be MMA because MMA is a fast-growing sport. You will have a very fast income that will help you to make a living. And I'm like, what is MMA? Then he started to explain, like, you know, it's like with wrestling and this, that happened in the cage. I'm like, I have seen that on TV. And this was back in 2013. Yeah, we are about end of June 2013. I'm like, bro, leave me alone with that, your MMA or whatever it is. I want boxing. You know boxing, right? The one that Mike Tyson did. that's what I want. I want like stand up, you know. And he was always around my ear, like whispering about MMA. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm like, you should try. Just try and just give it a shot. And until one day I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot, you know. But how I met with Fernand Lopez, he was the gym closed for the month of August. Then I want a gym to keep training. That's how I went to.
He hooked you up and shit. Like he gave you a spot to stay. Like he just hooked you up. Like he saw your power immediately, or
That's somebody named Fernando.
No,
Yeah.
Didier.
in Paris.
No, Didier was the one that hooked me up. Didier
okay.
was the one that finally gave me a place to stay. I stayed at his place for like, he has like an apartment that he was renting, and then he was free for like 2 months. He gave it to me for 2 months. And by the time I started to work in a nightclub as a
bouncer.
bouncer,
You
then
have to fuck somebody up. Yeah.
I didn't want any trouble. My situation, I didn't want to find myself in the free, have a free ticket, one-way ticket to back to Africa. You know, so I didn't want any trouble. I just want to.
No, get the fuck out the way, motherfucker.
No, I just want to like sit there, hope like everything goes well. So I go back home in the next day, you know, collect my pay and go back home. I didn't want, like when they start trouble or fighting, I'm like, man, this guy might make police come here, and when police come, they might have to check our ID, stuff like that. Bro, please don't do that. Just like I want my pay and go home.
Who recognized your power though? Like, you know, when Mike was young, he had amazing power for a teenager. Who recognized like your strength to like take you in, like to get it cracking?
I mean, everything that I do, like even when I was training with Didier, when I went to this first gym, everything that I went, people kind of like recognize my power. But at that moment,
what was going on in your head?
It doesn't matter, you know. Even growing up, they recognize my power. My family is known for like power.
You were vicious like that, man? Like
no. Like even from my dad, my family, we have that reputation of like being strong, power stuff. And I remember growing up, you know, we used these gas that they look like this in the bottle. And
what did he say? What did he say?
a gas. What do you call it?
Yeah.
A gas thing. Like
a gas tank. A gas bottle. So what's happened is like I was like 21, 22. Yes, 22. Then I was living in some house that have that bottle, that gas, and then I use it. I close it. Every time that I close the gas, they will call me on the phone like, "Come open the gas. We need to cook, bro." Like, I'll be like, "I just close like this." I'm like, "Yes, but come just open like you close it because we can," you know. So that was a moment that I kind of like figured out I don't have the same power as everybody, you know. Growing up, I have that situation to find balance. When I shake people's hand, they'll be like, "Bro, you squeeze my hand." I'm like, "No, I didn't squeeze your hand. I just say hi gently." You know, I'm like, "Yes," but you know.
How do you rate his power, Mike? Like by analyzing him. I mean, you're expert in that area.
Not only does he have good power, you can't rate. You can only rate somebody by the people they hit, and by viewing the people he hit. He hits very hard. Matter of fact, you can't even ask them. I think they're still knocked out.
No, as you.
I mean, you got Curtis Blade.
What's that black guy you fought with a Russian name? He had an Eastern European name. We'll start with an R.
Rosenstruck.
What's his name?
Rosenstruck.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna give you a fight. You just said, "Oh, I can't."
Okay.
Because he was talking shit about you. Called you out, and you said, I don't think he understands what he's getting himself into."
Yeah. So that was the thing, and actually, like that fight was very bad. The guy was just talking, and I was very upset at that moment about like the situation with the UFC, and he was fighting, and I was just laying down waiting for a fight. They wasn't giving me a fight, and then he started calling me, and he became like the man. I'm like, yes, he's undefeated. He's this, he's that, and then he called me out, and they give him the fight, and he was like, yes, I'm gonna be the first one knocking Francis Ngannou out. There's this big guy and this. I'm like, bro, I think you're not there yet. Until we get in the octagon. You know, it's easy to talk shit when you don't have somebody
But he
in
kicked a
front
lot
of
of
you.
people's ass though.
Yeah.
He's talking a lot of shit.
Yeah. So when we get in the face
Big old strong
face off,
motherfucker,
yeah, in the face off, I look at him like this. I saw like he was like, damn, what did I just do?
Get myself into
Yeah.
it.
The fight day, we get in the octagon. I stare at him across.
Put that fight in there. You put the fight in there?
I stare at him
Oh,
across.
you look at big, strong motherfucker, too.
Yeah. I stare at him across the octagon, and then I look at him. I'm like, he was like, what did I just do? So I just,
that left hook, fast.
Oh my God.
He's dead. Motherfucker's
I
dead.
was so frustrated. I'm like, what am I even doing here?
Look at me,
so I
still
just
there, he's
walked
still
to that
out.
Guy like, okay, I'm
He's
going
still
back
out,
home.
man. The motherfucker's still sleeping, man. He's fucking lunching, man.
But and then after I watched that fight, I mean, right after the fight, I turned around and I asked Eric, my coach, I'm like, what just happened? Like, what did I just do? What was that? Like, I was just throwing stuff like, what is that?
Look at him. He's fucked up. Oh, man.
It's crazy how your coach states that, you know, you should do MMA, but a lot of your wins is from like
Punches.
I never like really like
killer punches. Like,
I was never really like MMA stuff, you know, until like I get the UFC contract. Then I'm like, then I think I need to do this right.
okay.
Yeah, because it's whether you do it or you don't do it. You don't do it halfway, you know. That's the moment that I really get into MMA. But otherwise, for me, it was just an opportunity. Like, I love fighting. Yes, I was having fun. Then fight sometime and get some money. It was cool, you know. But then I get the UFC contract, and I'm like, okay, this is not just to make fun anymore. You have to go all in, you know. That's where I really like, okay, I'm going to do this.
I mean, Mike said it. You went through a lot of ill heavyweights, yo.
Yeah, he fucked. That's the ill heavyweight right there. He fucked up.
Yeah,
You saw he was bigger than him.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
Whack. Whack.
So the thing is, I get there and everything seems easy for me. I was just getting there, didn't have no experience, but was knocking people out. You know, at some point you kind of like not put yourself right into it, not push yourself, you know, until I get the Stipe fight. The Stipe fight.
That's the one
That's one that taught you.
That was the first fight.
Wow.
That was my real first fight. I lost that fight, and then I think like from that night, I understood everything. That was, if you ask me so far, that's the best fight in my career. Not the outcome that I wanted.
It woke your
That's
ass
how
up.
I feel about the Buster Douglas fight.
Yeah,
It's the best fight of my career.
yeah. The Stipe fight was my best fight
People
because
won't
after that
understand
fight,
it.
I know that okay, this is not going to happen again, and I know why. I know how it feels to be there at that moment. You know, to get in the deep water, like, you know, looking for oxygen to breathe, and I didn't get prepared in that fight properly. Everything around that fight was wrong, but I wouldn't figure it out if the fight didn't go wrong. You know, you get there first round and then you knock him out. You still feel like you're the man, like you get it all figured, right? So that's why I always see a guy, they say, oh, he's undefeated. And then I'm like, he's meeting something. His training is not complete yet. His experience is not complete. Because not until you go to that loss that you understand the last piece of a training.
I've watched a lot of your fights. I see that when you put your leg up, it's over because that means you read the fighter. He's pussy. He's out of here.
What did you say just now? He put his leg up and what?
When he does I remember one time you had you did like a front kick or something. You just did it out of nowhere, just regular, and then you read the opponent and you were like, oh, this guy's pussy. If he let me kick, then he's out of here.
That's what he said.
No, I'm not pretty.
You don't use
I'm
kicks.
not a
That's
kick
what I'm
guy.
saying. He don't kick. But
the fight that stuff like that happened to me, that I checked people out. It was my first fight in the UFC against Enrique, and you know, I was just doing. He was only 2 years after since I started to do MMA, so I was there like, And I wasn't even doing it as a profession. You know, I was just like, oh, it's fun. I love fighting. You know, let's go to MMA training today. You know, I'm going to fight. And it was cool, right? Then 2 years after, then I find myself with a UFC contract. And I'm like, okay. And he was in Orlando. I was there like, okay, what's the rules of this? Like, how do they do this? You know, was still processing. And they were presenting Luis Enrique like a black belt jiu-jitsu, Olympic wrestling of the Brazilian team, and this and that. And I'm like, what's my resume? And then they get on my resume. I'm like, he's strong, he knock people out. I'm like, yeah.
And that's it?
That's it. So I was nervous. But at the end, you know, we get to weigh in, then to the press conference, I have to size him up. I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, man, he might be doing kung fu or whatever it is. At the end of the day, it's two men fighting, right? We're going to figure that out in the octagon. We get in the octagon, and my first strike was a low kick. Then he caught it, took me down because he was just like, don't do anything with this guy on the stand-up. He took me down, and I had his hand like this, and he was trying to put his hand. That's when I sized him up. He was like doing this. I'm like, this guy is joking, or he really want to take his hand off, you know? And he was pulling. I'm like, okay. I sized. That was the moment. I'm like, I'm winning this fight. There's no way this guy is winning.
That's crazy.
Me.
You could just see that, though.
And the second time was against Alistair Overeem. He did the same thing, but he approached me on the body.
He's a great fighter.
Yeah. He came like on the, wanted to take me down, something like that. So he get closer. I get it on the hook. We get on the cage. Then I know Alistair Overeem is a specialist of a knee. I don't want to mess anywhere close to his knee. So I was trying to control his body up here, not allow him to...
He's powerful.
Yeah. Not allowed him to like rise his knee or something. And he was trying to push in. Then I put my hand. I feel like he's pushing. I felt his power. I'm like, this is it. I get this.
That's crazy. When
Then
you can read
a
it.
second after, he was out.
You and Mike, I mean,
sleeping.
Sleeper. You and Mike talked about this like 3 years ago, right? About like actually,
Yeah.
like, so that's crazy how fate.
No, the last time I was with Mike was
yeah.
2 years. You mean talking about this fight?
About like him training you. Like, did you,
Yes,
did you
that
bring
was
that
2
up
years
to him?
ago. Yeah, that was our first
Just
podcast.
think he's fighting the champ now. Now we on this, level of the story.
So you got Tyson to go against Tyson?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
there's
That's
a Tyson.
gangster.
There's Tyson and Tyson.
Yes, yeah.
There's a level between Tysons.
Hey, let's go some of our moves. Let's check out some of our workout in the gym.
Oh wow, you got some. Wow.
Yeah.
No, we told them not to film. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Did you bring up some customado techniques to put it on him? Like to
Well, I just wanted to see what he had yesterday.
Okay.
Before I decide what I was gonna do with him. Okay. Who can?
All right. I'm just trying to see if you could give him some of the secret sauce. You know what I'm
The
saying?
only thing he needs is more competitiveness. Just continue, repeat, repetitive. Keep going.
I mean, you're going up against critics that don't want this to go down. They're saying this is like the worst matchup. What is your opinion on that? Like all these critics, like that's hating on the exhibition fight.
What's matchup for who?
Like, I mean, they're saying it's not a cool matchup. Like,
Hey,
why?
everybody has a chance
Yeah.
People will always have things to say.
because they're not doing it.
Yeah, because basically, like when you're doing things that people are not used to, they're afraid of. My whole life, I've been having this story. When I grew up in Africa and say I'm gonna be a professional boxer, professional fighter, people thought I was crazy. And at the moment that I really found a gym, I was 22 years old when I started boxing for the first time. And people were like, okay, this guy is losing his mind. If they weren't afraid of me in my family, if I was a small guy that they can take on, they would have put me in psychiatric center. They really thought I was losing it.
Oh wow.
They never believe in it.
Is that late to start at 22? Is that late?
Listen,
Late or not, here we are. So
You proved it, I guess.
He's never late.
Right? Exactly.
It's never late because, and one of the thing there was like, oh, Mike Tyson was a champion at 19 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
You're starting at 22 and this. Yeah, but what can I do? You know, I do my best out of what I have. I never had a gym around me. I love these things. I was kid, even before I know anything about it. I love combat sport, you know, but I didn't have a chance growing up to have a gym around me or a opportunity to train, to practice. So then I'm here. I won't just sit down. I'm like, oh, it's not possible. I couldn't do it. It's too late. You know, I will go there, try. Then if I feel like it's too late, by trying, then it's too late. But I have to give it a shot. And it was always about like give it a try. And that's what led me here.
So in a perfect world, you would have been a boxer if you had the opportunities. You wouldn't have went MMA. You just would have been like on some boxing shit.
Yeah, even when I went in France, it was all about boxing.
That's crazy. Like the opportunities force you to go into MMA.
But listen, right? If he was just an average boxer, just came from Africa, he came in from Paris, it would have been hard for him to get those opportunities from promoters and stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the thing that's one thing that I thought when I had a UFC contract. Like maybe it's an opportunity to use the platform, get the name, and then when you go back to boxing, then you get a good boxing match.
Everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, they know who you are. And that time, he wasn't about Tyson Fury. He wasn't in the picture yet. You know, back in 2013, heavyweight landscape was like the Klitschko brothers, you know, thing like that. So that was my vision at the time, my philosophy.
I saw we worked out yesterday, and I saw a lot of good qualities. You know.
Oh shit.
Pretty much just shake off some of the cobwebs and just go into a full speed ahead.
Thank you.
You learn pretty quick too, which I was very impressed with.
Thank you.
How many days are you training? You're
And
training every day?
And I want it. I really want it.
Don't ask too many questions.
I mean, it's just covered in fucking what? It's around the corner, man.
What's your question?
No, I mean, he said he can't ask how many days you are training.
I'm his trainer. What the hell? What do a trainer do? He trains them from the beginning to the end.
Okay. All right.
Not fucking with me, man.
You know what I'm saying? One guy who's hating on you, I don't know if he's hating, but John Bones Jones was like kind of pissed that you left UFC before. He wanted to take on your ass.
No, I would not say he's hating on me.
Not really hating, but he's kind of disappointed that you left before.
I'm disappointed
John
too.
Bones, he's in line too. You know, he's ready.
I'm disappointed too. But that fight, again, that fight is still possible. You know, I think we both are down for it. I left the UFC. That doesn't mean that this fight cannot happen. You know, so
he'll be the heavyweight boxing champ fighting John Jones.
Yeah.
You don't want to be Jim Jones.
Because
you'll drink some of that suicide. Drink some of that what is cyanide, suicide, whatever they call it.
Yeah. And you will just make that fight bigger, though.
Yes.
Like imagine like me and John Jones fighting like after the Tyson Fury fight,
exactly.
The one or the second one, you just get that fight bigger and bigger, you know. Exactly. So that fight will always be there when both of us we want to fight. Okay. Now it's a matter of like our contractual situation.
What do you think about John Jones beating Gagne quicker than you?
It was clear. That was a game plan. Yeah. That was a perfect game plan. Matter of fact, I think, and John knows, he knew that, like when I saw John in their first exchange, I'm like, Jones doesn't look good. He better finish this guy earlier, you know, because like when you look at this on the stand-up, he was like little off, you know, the timing and everything, but on the striking, but he you know, he was fighting a guy that Gunn doesn't have a knockout power. So yes, at the worst case scenario, you will get like 1-2 punches, like trying to get through him. But if you hold him, I mean, he's gonna have a bad night. basically gunfight kind of like exposed him. He fought me, and I'm not a wrestler, but I wrestle on gun as I wanted. So somebody like John, for him, I'm like, I just have to lay my hand on this guy, and it's over, right?
Yeah, you hear that, Brother Jones? Out here talking shit. I love that's what this show is about. Give you the opportunity to talk shit about the whole life.
Talk shit, man.
What you think is gonna happen when you land the bomb on Tyson Fury?
If I land the bomb on Tyson Fury, I think he's
Which
seen
I will be,
his,
causing
the
that to
light.
happen.
The lights is turning off for him.
I agree.
But
I agree.
again, now the problem is how to sharpen the weapon properly to land that bomb.
Exactly.
Because
That's what I'm here
the
for.
problem, it's good to have a bomb, but it's also good. I love the great Teddy Atlas. He always say like delivery system. Like you have to have a proper delivery system, and that's something that's stuck in my mind. You have a bomb, that's cool. Okay, how to have a good delivery system to aim and shoot, and that's why Mike Tyson is here.
Yes, sir. You got your technical
Yeah,
weapon
to
right
do
there.
I wish you had the
The training.
Man, the training. You guys are gonna be impressed when you see him.
Wow, man.
And we are just getting started. We're almost three months out, right? Yeah. Gonna get in shape, sharpen that techniques, faster, stronger.
Speed kills, baby. Speed
Yes.
kills.
I mean, Joe Rogan respects your power, but he also stated that Tyson's not gonna let you like just freely knock his head off.
We just listen.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he just said? Delivery system.
No, Tyson definitely. Nobody is gonna let you knock his head off. You think those that get knocked out because they let their heads off? They're trying to hide him. You just have to go find it.
Yeah, man. You found him.
Nobody
a few
comes
times.
there and like, okay, this is my head, hit my head. No, you have to go find after that head because they are hiding it. Matter of fact, not only they're hiding it, they want yours.
Damn, man. What's your power pressure? Like, have you ever measured it?
Let him hit you and find out.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
I think that's the best way.
I'm ready.
So you can tell me because I don't know what's my power pressure.
I want to try it. You can try it.
Punch him in the face.
I think we need to sign some
yeah.
kind
Can I
of
get
like
some
legal
paperwork?
paperwork in order to do that. Because I really want to do this fight. I don't want to find myself in the police station explaining why I committed a murder or something like that.
He will kill your motherfucking ass, man.
But lastly, Khabib also stated that you ain't fucking with Tyson, man. Like he wants you to get annihilated. I think Tyson's his boy, so I don't know.
That's what he said. Everybody has a right to say his opinion. It's gonna be one way or another. That is his
Just wait till the
opinion.
night of the
That
fight,
is his
okay?
opinion.
You hear me?
Good.
Just wait till the night of the
Then-
fight.
Oh, I'm gonna be
We
there.
have to wait until the night of
Saudi
the fight and
Arabia,
see
don't be
what's
bullshit.
going on.
Better come.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there.
yeah. That's the only way to find out. When the fight happens, you find out. I have been in the situation so many times that people will say a lot of things, and I kind of like used to that now. I just lay back and watch people
Make it
talk.
happen.
Yes, see them talk, do their thing. They are doing their job. That's how it works. It's a showbiz. Everybody contribute on his own way. They say their own things. You just focus on your own.
Have you ever gotten to a street fight?
Nah. I'm a vagina. I don't know this. I'm a vagina. I can say vagina, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Pussy.
I usually have friends take care of business, Like if I have an issue, I press the red button and
Yo,
I'm good.
man, that guy's pressuring me.
I got Mike Tyson. If you think people are gonna mess with me right now, this is it. This is the final conclusion of my life. Like I have no issues. Life is fun.
So if you have a friend like Mike Tyson and think just gonna go out there find trouble and count on him, I'm Mike Tyson, I'm not your friend anymore. Like I used to have that situation that my friend will go out there and find trouble because they know that I'm gonna fight. If you find a trouble, they're gonna whip your ass. I swear to God. Like
Man,
you look at me like this, I look like I don't know you, But if trouble come after you, then I'm all in. You know, I support you. I stand on your side.
Don't
He
start
gonna
some
take
shit and come
yeah,
get
but then
it.
don't
be
start
no
the fight
shit.
because I'm not just walking out there want to fight. You know, I can defend you if when you get offended, but you don't go offend somebody and then get your ass whipped and count on me,
Hey,
bro.
I'm coming back,
You just
man.
get
I'm
what you
coming
deserve.
really back.
You ask for it, so you take it, and I'm good.
When you're trading, is there French music on? Where you got French rap or who you fuck with, man? All the French people tuning in right now.
A lot of African music,
Oh, African.
Afrobeat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of Afrobeat. Like
See, can you dance like those African dancers dance?
I think
See how
everybody
they go dun, dun, dun.
How they do
everybody
that?
in Africa has to. It's in the culture. Everybody has to do a little bit, right?
I don't know if it's that. Like, I don't know. If it's
Everybody has to do a little bit, but I love dancing so much. Like I love salsa.
Really?
The Latin music. Yeah, I found a studio. I find a studio to go learn how to dance. So even when because I just love those music, those Latin
I
music.
think we're gonna see this
Yeah.
guy in Dancing with Stars.
We're
in the
gonna
future.
see that shit. Dancing with the Stars.
You never listen to Booba?
Yes, I listen to Booba.
Being in
I
France.
listen more to Daju. Yes, I listen to Daju, Maître Gims,
African
all those guys.
dancing.
But I listen to musicians from Cameroon too.
What's a big Cameroon band that we should be up on?
When I went to the World Music Awards, I met somebody from Cameroon.
Really?
20 years ago, he was jumping all over the place.
Who is that?
Some nigga, he did flips and shit, running up down doing flips.
And when's the last time you trained a fighter, Mike?
Oh man, I always train the amateur fighters in the gym when I come
wow.
around the gyms and box. Always give them little, you know what I mean, tips and everything. That's just my life. Fighting is my life. I don't care what they say about business, man. How much money I'm gonna make here, billionaire. It's not. It's all about me and my fight world in my head.
That's cool,
Me
man.
being champion. That's my highest and my greatest accomplishment I could ever do. If I had $100 billion, it wouldn't surpass that.
Damn. So him winning is like that's it. That's all you want.
Listen, I know we talk about it, but if you're the heavyweight champ since the beginning of time, since they've been fighting bare knuckles, even Achilles, you go down in history. Like all those little guys, they're the greatest fighters of the world now, but no one's gonna talk about them 200 years from now. Everybody talks about the heavyweights. When we talking about heavyweight champions from 200 years, they say, well, I wonder if he could have beat this guy that started here and he was this and that. They always do that. The heavyweight champion of his time is like being the president of his time.
100 years from now, Mike Tyson's name is still out there in Mars and aliens and spaceships.
Hey, that's what we're going for. Yeah.
Yeah.
For aliens, everything, trembling through the galaxy.
But because I think Mike Tyson name is more than just a champ name, right? Because there's so many champion that maybe you don't know all of them, I'm sure, or you don't remember a lot of them.
Sometimes the belt don't matter.
No, it's all about the personality.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the difference of champion and of having a title and creating a legacy.
And this is what you have to look to when you think about him fighting Tyson Fury, right? Conor McGregor went 11 rounds or 10 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, the greatest fighter of his generation, if not all time.
Wow.
Okay, so if that can happen, why can't he give Tyson a capable fight?
Exactly.
Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter in the world for his technique and style. So why doesn't he have a chance? If McGregor did well and did a great account of himself, everybody respects him for his efforts. Nobody said, "Oh, he's a bitch." No one's saying that.
Hell no. Do you have those dreams too, like to have your name live longer? We interviewed Terrence Crawford. He just was like, I just want to fight and go into my family. I'm not really
Money,
into, I'm not into all that other stuff. Are you? What's your goals? What's your? Do you see yourself like you are like the first Cameroon freaking UFC champion? Like
Yeah, but I want to do what I want to give my best. You know, giving my best could have made me not become even a champion. But as long as I give it all, I would be okay with it. You know, I don't want to set a limit for myself. Like, I want this, then what, right? I just want to do what I can possibly do, see what I can
See where it goes.
see where it goes, right? At the end of the day, after everything, we're gonna make a calculate everything and see what it is. But I just want to keep going. I don't want to set a limit. Hey, come on, man! This is America, and you know what they said: the sky is the limit.
100%.
And you're talking to the guy that went through hell, and then he's in the Fast Furious movie. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Hey, listen.
that's crazy.
That's nothing, man. Wait till he finish fighting. That's nothing. That's nothing. But listen, because I tell you something. No, the difference between him and other guys, he's happy. He got the smile. All the, you know how hard it is to make a black man smile in America.
Wow.
He's smiling, happy, has good energy. It's beautiful. He will never do a crime in his life. He's one of those non-threatening black men. Wow. And everybody know you're not one. You try to portray one, but you're not one. We gotta watch out for you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I just said I'm a vagina.
A vagina. More like an asshole. I'm sorry. Stop. I'm so sorry.
One thing I do get, one thing I assess through the whole thing, I've never seen Mike. Like, I see the twinkle in his eyes fucking with you, man. Like, I could see it. Like, he sees, like, you and him somehow.
Hey, listen, man, my whole life is fighting. Like I said before, I don't care what you say about business, how great we're doing. I always look at myself as the champ.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and because you're a champ, and that's what I was about to say earlier. Most of the time, people would think that's what we were talking about, like his name living for 100 years from now. Most of the time, people think like the belt makes you a champion. Champion is a mindset, right? It's how you think about yourself.
You have to become champion before you become champion.
Yeah, you become champion long time before become champion. If you're waiting on like a day that you're gonna win a title to make you a champion, then I think you are doing it wrong. Champion is a mindset, and that's my take on it.
You have to live the championship. Champion always is also lifestyle. Lifestyle champion is not too particularly kind to people who's not accustomed to it. You know, it's all about sacrifice.
Yes.
Sex, food, liquor, friends, boom. Lonely sport.
That's crazy.
Lonely sport.
When
you become champion, everything is yours. It's great to be the king.
But you still have to be lonely.
Yeah,
you still have to be lonely, and that's the good thing about me. I don't have any problem with that.
I was told
I'm a lonely person.
Sacrifice a few years of pain and suffering for a lifetime of happiness.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
You're cool with the loneliness, right? So you don't have to worry about stamina.
I grew up alone, kind of. So by the age of 6, when my parents divorced, I went to my cousins, and I was very isolated, you know. So, and I missed my family so much because I was so attached to my family. So what happened, even at that age, I created a visual war in my mind. A visual war in my mind. That everything was perfect with my dad and my mom home, with my sibling, and everything was just how I wanted it to be. And for so many years, I have this war that, you know, doesn't matter what happened to me, I will escape at some moment and hang out with in my thought in that war, and that everything is perfect, and I was cool with it.
Damn.
And I get used to hang out with myself like that, because I tried for so many years to have friends, but I was in such a different situation that for kids, nobody really care about me. Nobody want to be friend with me, stuff like that. So I try so much, and I get to a point that I kind of like accepted, like, okay, this is it. My friend was in my mind, was in my world. My perfect family was there because the real one was a mess, right? So I grew up like that, and then I get used to. So I became like introverts and everything. I was taking it there. I get to the point that even if they invite me to a party, I'll be like, no, I'm cool. You know, I can just sit home and still have fun with myself. I will not talk too much. I'm not a party guy. So
you're not going to Puff Daddy's party if Diddy call you like?
no, I mean, I'll go places, but it's not like my lifestyle. It's a kind of like mental, you know, whatever you do that you think that might take something out of you, out of your performance, it affects you because you get there and then you start thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I'm tired because, you know, that kind of thing.
And
that's
psychological.
Yeah, that's
Being
psychological.
tired is psychological.
So you just set up your routine, something that you're comfortable with.
So Mike, that's the most bullshitest excuse if a fighter loses.
Listen, I would think a fighter would be more successful if he had sex before a fight.
Oh, wow.
How does that?
Really?
Yeah, I would think he'd be more. I've always, that was the way my trainer cuts. He didn't think that was wrong either. He thought that was all myth.
It's like a relaxing. Like,
Yeah, he's relaxed. You bust that nut. You cool now. You can get back up and you can get back your stuff. Eat your food. Got your energy back. Let's go get this cat.
Oh man, the myth buster. Thank you.
Okay.
You learned something today, right?
Because listen, before a fight, you're like, fuck. You only get relaxed once you get in the ring, but before it's killing you.
Oh wow.
It's killing you until you get in the ring. And that nut is, thank God. The whole world is looking at you. Like 100 million people, 150 million people are looking at you right now. Tell them how can they get in contact with you by email, whatever it is. Whatever they want to know about you, they want to support you. And what is it that you have to say to them?
To contact me, I don't know, on
Don't give them a
Instagram.
phone number. Yeah,
On Instagram, on my team, my manager. I usually like link a email of my manager on my
What's his name? Tell
Marker. Are
you gonna kick Tyson Fury ass or not?
When you put his name up, he kind of like warm me up. So I want them to know that I can box. Yes. And that's the thing. My goal now is not only the fight, but it's to shock the world, like to show them that
show you
I
skills
can do
on
this.
wheels, baby.
Yes, like
show your movement.
yeah, like I get
we're
this.
Working on.
Yeah, so that's something that I'm excited about.
We're coming for you, baby. We're coming.
Oh, we're coming for to take everything.
Damn.
This is another episode of Hotboxin. We had the great Francis Ngannou here. Now I'm out. I'm Mike Tyson.
I'm hooking.
See ya.
Peace.
Never want to be ya.
See ya.
Champ, nigga, the champ.